Let's dive into how to vanish and transform yourself. It's not about disappearing entirely. It's about the art of going unnoticed in a way that allows you to grow stronger without getting swept up in everyone else's chaos. Stay around until the end and you'll find out the ultimate secret to inner transformation. Greetings from ancient Rome. My name is Seneca. Yes, that's Seneca, the philosopher, writer, and, for better or worse, tutor to Emperor Nero. I came to Rome from a city in Spain where I learned early on that sometimes the best way to find strength is to step back, to listen, and yes, to just simply vanish from the noise around you. Now, my life wasn't exactly the picture of peace and wisdom you might imagine. Rome wasn't exactly a calm place, and being Nero's mentor, that was an adventure all its own. Trust me, if you ever need a lesson in patience, try tutoring an emperor with a flair for the dramatic. But it was through these challenges that I developed my philosophy. Not just words, but tools I tested in the most intense situations. Lesson 1. Embrace silence. Seems simple, right? But silence, real deep silence, is powerful. Think of it like a superpower. In my time, everyone was talking, but few people were truly listening. I noticed that the more I stayed quiet, the more I learned. Silence lets you vanish from the chaos, but you're still there, observing, understanding. It's where wisdom is born. Picture this. Back in Rome, the philosophers would argue endlessly, each one trying to shout louder than the other. It was like being in the middle of a marketplace with everyone hawking their thoughts. But I learned that the one who said the least often knew the most. Why? Because he was listening. Silence is the space where we recharge, where we connect with our inner strength. When you disappear from all the noise around you, that's when you start hearing what truly matters. So here's a question. When was the last time you were truly silent? I don't mean just turning off the music or the chatter, but really, deeply silent. Take a moment today and just listen. You'll be amazed at what you find in that quiet space. Now, on to the second lesson. Choose your battles. In ancient Rome, like today, everyone wanted to win, to be seen, to be right. But if you fight every little skirmish, you lose sight of the bigger picture. Picking your battles wisely? That's where real power lies. It lets you vanish from unnecessary drama and focus on what truly matters. Imagine you're on a basketball court. Does every play need to be a slam dunk? Of course not. The best players know when to save their energy and when to go all out. Life's the same way. Not every challenge is worth your time or effort. Sometimes letting things go is the wisest choice. When you step back, you disappear from the stress and reappear in control. So here's a question. What battles have you been fighting that aren't worth it? Think about it. If a situation doesn't help you grow, maybe it's time to let it go. Pick your fights, choose your path, and watch how much lighter you feel. Lesson 3. Being able to adapt. Or as I like to call it, amor fati, the love of fate. Life is full of surprises, twists, and curveballs. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to resist, to get frustrated. But here's the trick. Those who adapt win. The strongest aren't rigid, they're flexible. Adaptability is the skill of vanishing from frustration and emerging stronger. Back in my day, I faced some tough situations. People betrayed me, plans fell apart, and many times I was on the edge of losing everything. But instead of clinging to my original plans, I learned to pivot, to adjust. You've got to love what life throws at you, even the curveballs. You embrace it and you transform. Think of LeBron James on the court. A great player doesn't just stick to one strategy. He flows with the game, adapts to his opponents. You can be the same. Embrace life's changes and let them help you grow. So, I'll ask, what part of life have you been resisting instead of adapting to? Let go, adapt, and watch how you change. On to lesson 4, patience. Now, patience isn't just about waiting. It's a quiet strength, a willingness to endure without losing focus. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a strong mind. Patience is the ability to vanish from the impulse to act too quickly and to find strength in stillness. Back when I was dealing with the young, impulsive Nero, patience was my secret weapon. The kid was like a wildfire, and I had to learn to wait for the right moment, to bide my time. It wasn't easy, but that's the beauty of patience. It's not passive, it's powerful. Think of patience like a game. The longer you wait, the stronger you become. When you're patient, you're like a mountain, immovable. Imagine having that kind of strength in your daily life. Next time you're faced with frustration, try vanishing from that feeling and just be patient. You might find that the solution comes to you naturally. So here's a question. When was the last time you practiced true patience? Not just waiting in line, but real transformative patience? Give it a try. You might surprise yourself. And now, we come to the final, and perhaps most crucial lesson. Inner peace beats outer approval. Ah, approval. The endless craving for others to like us, to recognize us. Trust me, I've seen this desire destroy people. They chase applause, wealth, admiration, but they're never truly satisfied. It's like chasing shadows. Just when you think you've got it, it vanishes. Let's think about this from the perspective of modern life. Everywhere you look, people are seeking validation, likes, followers, applause. But when your happiness depends on what others think, you're giving your power away. If you live for approval, you're at the mercy of everyone's opinions, and that's a shaky place to be. But there's a better way, a way to live on your terms without needing external validation. Inner peace. Imagine the freedom of not caring what others think because you're so grounded in your own worth. That's where true confidence comes from, a power that can't be shaken by the ups and downs of popularity or opinion. Now, someone who truly understands this is LeBron James. People see him for his strength, his incredible skills, his talent. But there's a deeper quality he possesses that people admire without even realizing it. His unshakable inner peace. Do you ever see him getting rattled by critics or by the endless pressure? No, why? Because LeBron is centered. He knows his value, and he doesn't need every cheer to feel worthy. LeBron plays in front of millions, yet he doesn't rely on their approval. He's got that inner calm, that focus. That's a strength that comes from within, a fortress built on his own self-worth. And when you have that, you don't need the crowd to tell you who you are. You become untouchable. Imagine having that power yourself, to vanish from the need for approval and to find contentment within. When you cultivate this inner peace, you're solid, you're grounded, and nothing outside of you can shake that. It's like having an invisible armor that protects you from the storms of criticism, doubt, and pressure. Here's a question to think about. Whose approval are you chasing right now? What if, instead of being in the spotlight all the time, you chose to vanish from the noise, to focus on what really matters to you? There's strength in that kind of silence, in that kind of focus. Let me put it another way. Picture yourself on the court, of life, of course, facing a big challenge, and the crowd is roaring. The pressure is on, critics are everywhere. But instead of getting caught up in the noise, you find that inner calm. You're like LeBron in the final quarter, blocking out the crowd, focusing only on what's right in front of him. That's a power you can only build within yourself. And that, my friends, is true strength. When you find inner peace, you can't be distracted by every opinion or pulled in every direction. It allows you to disappear from the pressures and expectations of the world, to stand tall, knowing who you are without anyone else's approval. And in a world that's constantly trying to tell you who to be, that's a rare and priceless gift. So remember, the applause will fade, the crowd will move on, but your inner peace, that's yours to keep. When you're calm and grounded inside, you become unstoppable. Nothing outside of you can rattle you. And that ultimately is the lesson. Vanish from the need to be seen and embrace the strength within. These are the lessons from my ancient world to yours. They aren't just ideas to think about. They're practices that can change the way you live. So I challenge you, take these lessons and let them transform you. Don't just be a part of the noise. Stand apart from it and find what's true and lasting. Life isn't about winning every little argument or chasing after every approval. It's about knowing who you are and focusing on what helps you grow. Now, if you've enjoyed these life lessons, comment below. And if you're ready for more transformation, check out the next video. Carl Jung's The Shadow, How to Master Your Dark Side.